Hi, this is Mike Cuddy, and I'm here to talk to you about my latest project. And this one is actually on European LGBT survey data. And of course, I got the data off Kaggle. And if you go to the README section on the project on my GitHub page, you'll see it right here, the link. This data was actually something I saw, I think, in the late summer or early, some part in the fall. And I told myself I'd come back to it and do a project on it that seemed kind of fascinating. And here it is finally. And I have to say that when I started this project, I didn't think it would be as massive as it kind of turned out to be. I expected kind of like a small little project until I moved on to something else, but I actually really enjoyed working on this project and how it turned out. So it just has like the introduction section here, talking about kind of like the background why I chose to do this. And this page right here basically will have some charts, and it'll basically examine some of these questions here. So you can see the questions here, but I also have them on each chart. So, in your opinion, how widespread is same-sex partners holding hands in public in the country where you live? So the survey is basically saying that fairly rare. 59% of the people in Austria for the orientation lesbian. So lesbians who are being interviewed here say that that is fairly rare, very rare, fairly widespread. And I have everything organized by basically how popular it is down. And then down here, just for some filler, I just have this picture right here. I could have used something else, but I just decided to use a simple chart from Unsplash, the footer and everything. And of course, the page is responsive, which I'll show in a minute. But if I click here, let's go to an Eastern European country, let's say Poland. We can look at gay, and you can see how everything will change instantly and show you that. So you can kind of dig through the data here. And what becomes, when I was working on the chart things here, I didn't think it actually showed a lot about Europe. You don't get a sense from these charts about what's really going on in Europe. So that's why I have the map page. And before I show the map page, I'll just show you my generic about page. That image is always from my Google Drive, so it takes a second for it to come in and load. And so here's my about me page, and everything is responsive. So that's that. And if we go to the map page, this is something that I really like how it turned out. And basically here you see one of the questions again. So we see how widespread is same-sex partners holding hands. Then you're looking at for the answer, like how many people say it's very widespread in lesbian. And that's the starting data right there. And you can see over here where the old Eastern Bloc used to be for the Soviet Union, the Warsaw Pact countries, the states, it's almost always dark green, which means that this is very. So then if I change to gay, you can see how it switches and everything. So that really gives you a sense of what's going on. And you'll see it. Italy is the one country a lot because it's probably due to Catholic and being in Southern Europe that seems to be more have a little anti-gay views. And I just have this image down here with a poem that I threw in. So I try to do a little bit more artistic things. I have to say that one thing I don't like a lot about my skills is forms, and I'm trying to think of ways to get better forms. I always hate on these my websites how my forms turn out. So that's something I'm going to be working on. I'm almost thinking about standardizing a process. I'm currently reading Expressive Design Systems from a book apart to try to come up with a kind of a sole form format that I'll be using. And if we look at some of the code over here, close the README. The data section, I did something different in this that I actually, instead of using multiple methods and on the Python side, I actually pull almost all the data at once. And I've never done that before. I'll use multiple methods, and then there's the map data. So this one method right here gets all the data for the charts, and this one down here gets all the data for the maps. So that right there basically is really a nice way to turn out. I could have probably written the code a little bit better, but it works. And here's the store, and I actually preset all the data so when the page loads, it already has something that I've chosen for the options there. And that's something I did on my last project as well. And I actually like doing that because it makes it a lot nicer from the page loads. So if you look, this is probably one of my smallest store Vue.x files I ever had. I just have essentially these two actions in it that control the whole project. So it was going to be multiple projects, no, multiple actions I meant, and I just got it down to two. So that's this project, and I hope you enjoyed it.